So, you did it. You built an amazing app. It's fast, it's smart, and people are starting to notice. But what happens when people turns into millions of people practically overnight? Let's get into it. We're going to break down the core system design concepts you absolutely need to know to turn that great idea into a global success that, doesn't crash and burn. Okay, this right here, this is the question that is both a dream come true and a total nightmare for every developer. You've hit the jackpot, you're trending all over the place, but behind the scenes, your beautiful creation is starting to make some scary noises under the pressure. So where is that first crack going to appear? Because that viral success comes with a price, and that price is often a complete, catastrophic system meltdown. I mean, think about it. The architecture that worked perfectly for 100 users just can't handle thousands of new people signing up, browsing and clicking every single second. It suddenly becomes your biggest enemy. And yep, 9 times out of 10, this is the first thing to go. Your database. It's the heart of your entire application, right? It's trying to handle every single read, every single write, and when traffic just explodes, it gets totally overwhelmed, slows down to a crawl, and eventually it just gives up, taking your whole app down with it. So, how in the world do we protect our poor, overworked database? Well, we build a wall, a really, really fast wall, and that wall is called caching. It is, without a doubt, the most effective first step you can take to handle a huge surge in traffic and keep your app feeling snappy. The whole idea is actually pretty simple, and it's brilliant. Instead of bothering the slow database for the same piece of information over and over and over again, like, say, a really popular user's profile, we just store a copy of it in a much faster in-memory storage layer, something like Redis. This takes a massive load off the database and lets us deliver that data almost instantly. Now, it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. There isn't just one way to do caching. Depending on what you care about most, maybe it's read speed, maybe it's making sure your data is always consistent, you're going to use different patterns. You've got cache aside, write through, and write behind, just to name a few. So let's zoom in on the one you'll see most often, cache aside. Just think of it as lazy loading. The logic is super straightforward. First, your app asks the cache, hey, do you have this data? If the cache says no, that's called a cache miss. Then, and only then, does the app go to the database. It grabs the data, and here's the crucial part. It puts that data into the cache before sending it back. Why? So the next time anyone asks for it, boom, it's right there waiting. Okay, awesome. We've protected our database. Our app is fast, at least for users who are physically close to our servers. But your success isn't local, it's global. For someone on the other side of the planet, the sheer physical distance, the speed of light, is making every request feel sluggish. That's a latency problem. And the solution for that is a content delivery network, or CDN. Just picture a massive worldwide web of servers. Their entire job is to take your static files, all your images, videos, and style sheets, and sprinkle copies of them in data centers all over the globe. The goal? Get that content physically closer to your users, wherever they are. Let's just walk through how this works. It's pretty cool. A user in, say, Mumbai requests a profile picture. Instead of that request having to travel all the way across the world to your main server in Virginia, it gets intercepted by the CDN server right there in Mumbai. If the image is already there, a cache hit, bam, it's delivered instantly. If not, the CDN goes and gets it just once, saves a copy locally, and now every other user in that region gets it instantly too. A CDN is absolutely fantastic for static stuff, for things that don't change. But what about, well, everything else? What about all the dynamic API calls that actually power your app's main features? For that, we're going to need another piece of the puzzle. And that's where the reverse proxy comes in. You can think of this thing as the maitre d' for your entire application. It sits out front and gracefully directs all the incoming traffic. It does load balancing, spreading requests out so no single server gets overloaded. It can also handle security, offload heavy tasks, and even do some of its own caching. It's a real workhorse. So it's really important to get the difference here. A CDN lives out at the edge of the network, as close to the users as possible, and it's totally obsessed with delivering static files. A reverse proxy, on the other hand, lives at the origin, right in front of your servers, and it's obsessed with smartly and securely managing the flow of dynamic requests. They're not competitors, they're a team. All right, our app is now fast and it's stable, it can handle requests from anywhere in the world. But Modern apps need to do more than just serve up pages. They need to feel alive. We're talking real-time chat, instant notifications, live updates. So how do all the different parts of our system talk to each other to make that magic happen? The answer is this really elegant pattern called publish, subscribe, or just pub sub. What this model does is it decouples your services. So instead of services talking directly to each other and creating a tangled mess, a publisher just sends a message to a central channel or topic. Then any number of subscribers who are interested in that channel get the message. The publisher has no idea who's listening, and it doesn't care. Yeah, the flow is just so simple and powerful. A publisher, let's say it's your chat service, shouts a new message into the chat room channel, and then all the subscribers, which are the apps of the people in that room, are listening to that channel, and they instantly get the message and display it. It's clean, efficient, and it scales like crazy. And you see this pattern absolutely everywhere once you know what to look for. It's the engine behind almost every modern chat app. It's the system that pushes notifications to your phone. It's the backbone that lets all the different microservices in a huge system communicate with each other without being tightly coupled. So let's just take a step back and put this all together. These concepts, caching, CDNs, reverse proxies, pub sub, they're not used in a vacuum. They are the essential Lego bricks that combine to form the blueprint of pretty much every large-scale modern application out there today. So here's a real quick recap. Caching with tools like Redis is all about taking the load off your database. A CDN, like CloudFront or Cloudflare, is for getting your static content to users faster, all over the world. And pub sub, using systems like Kafka or even Redis, is for that real-time, event-driven communication. Each one solves a very specific scaling problem. And of course, let's not forget our unsung hero, the reverse proxy. This quote just nails it. It's that critical gateway, that traffic controller that keeps your whole backend running smoothly, securely, and efficiently. So look, caching, CDNs, reverse proxies, pub sub, these are not just trendy buzzwords you throw around in an interview. They are the real, fundamental architectural choices that decide whether or not your application can actually survive the success you're working so hard to find. So, congratulations! Your app is now a well-oiled machine. It's handling millions of users, it's fast, it's stable, it's global. So what's next? What's the one crucial piece of the puzzle that lets you actually see inside this complex system when things inevitably go wrong? Well, that's a story for another time.